Beneath the Sahara Desert, the largest, most hostile desert on Earth, lies a city. And the people in power have spent decades making sure you never find out it existed. In the next 8 minutes, you are going to discover what NASA satellite imagery accidentally revealed beneath thousands of years of sand and silence. The archaeological evidence that a thriving ancient civilization once flourished where nothing can survive today. And why this single discovery threatens to shatter every timeline that mainstream history has spent centuries carefully constructing. Stay with me, because what comes next changes everything. 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was not a desert. It was green, it was alive, it was home. Geologists call this period the African Humid Period, or the Green Sahara. Rivers flowed through what is now barren wasteland. Lakes stretched for hundreds of miles, and where there is water, there is always civilization. But here is where the story takes a turn that no one in academia wants to discuss. In 2008, a team using spaceborne radar technology, the same technology used to map planets, detected something extraordinary beneath the sands of the Egyptian and Libyan desert. Buried river systems, ancient valley networks, Stone Age tools that dated back over 10,000 years. And beneath the Libyan desert specifically, the outlines of what appeared to be a vast, structured settlement. A city, hidden not by time, but by sand. The settlement, known by archaeologists as Garamantian infrastructure, was not a primitive cluster of huts. This was an engineered civilization. They built an underground water system called a foggara, a network of tunnels stretching over 3,000 kilometers, designed to channel water from beneath the Saharan aquifer to their city above. 3,000 kilometers. The London Underground is barely 400 kilometers. Think about that. Now ask yourself this. If a civilization in the middle of what would become the world's most brutal desert had the engineering capability to design and execute a 3,000-kilometer underground infrastructure, what else were they capable of? And why is their name almost entirely absent from every history book taught in Western schools? Here is where it gets even more uncomfortable. Ancient Greek and Roman texts describe a people called the Garamantes, a powerful, organized empire that dominated North Africa for centuries. They had chariots, trade routes that stretched from sub-Saharan Africa to the Mediterranean coast, complex agriculture, a written legal system. They were, by every classical definition, an advanced civilization. And yet, if you ask the average person today about the great empires of North Africa, they will mention Egypt, perhaps Carthage. But the Garamantes? Silence. Is that an accident, or is it deliberate? In 2011, during the conflict in Libya, something unusual happened. Coalition forces, while conducting aerial reconnaissance, captured radar imagery that showed an underground network of chambers near the Fezzan region. The images were not released to the public. The archaeologists who had been excavating the region for years suddenly found their access revoked, their funding quietly cut. One leading researcher described the situation in a letter to his university, which was leaked online 3 years later. He wrote, and I am quoting directly, "We are being told to stop." The official reason given is security, but the areas we were excavating have nothing to do with active conflict zones. Something was found, and someone does not want it found again. When governments shut down archaeologists in the middle of a desert, the question is never whether something was discovered. The question is always, how significant was it? Now here is what the satellite data actually shows when you piece it together from declassified sources, leaked academic papers, and the research that did make it out before the shutdown. The Garamantian city complex in the Fezzan Basin is not a single settlement. It is a network. At least 7 distinct urban centers connected by engineered roads. The largest of these sites covers an area comparable to ancient Carthage, one of the most powerful cities in the ancient Mediterranean world. And here is the detail that should keep you awake at night. Carbon dating of artifacts recovered before the access ban places the earliest construction of this network at approximately 3,500 BCE. That is 5,500 years ago, contemporary with, and potentially predating, the earliest phases of Egyptian civilization. Before the pyramids, before the pharaohs, before everything we are told was the beginning of advanced human society in North Africa. What this means is staggering. If this dating holds, and multiple independent laboratories have corroborated it, then the Garamantes did not emerge after Egypt. They were there at the same time, possibly before. And if there was an advanced civilization in the Sahara predating or matching ancient Egypt in complexity, why is our entire model of human civilization centered solely on the Nile Valley? Some researchers believe the answer is connected to what the Garamantes left behind in their underground chambers. Not just tools and pottery, not just bones, but carved stone tablets, recovered in fragments, that appear to show a writing system that does not match any known ancient African script. A writing system that has not yet been translated. A writing system that someone apparently does not want translated. The Sahara does not give up its secrets easily, but it is giving them up, slowly. And the picture emerging beneath that sand is not the picture that textbooks have ever shown you. A 3,000-kilometer underground water system, 7 connected cities, a writing system no one is allowed to study, and a government that shut down the excavation without explanation. The Sahara is not empty. It never was. If you believe the world deserves to know what lies beneath that sand, share this video right now. Every share is a demand for transparency. Follow Echoes of Antiquity for more history they buried along with the evidence. And tell me, in the comments below, what do you think they found? What is inside those sealed chambers? I read every single reply.